Welcome to week 16 of Lock It In, presented by All Day Media. I'm your host, Bam. We have Jacobs live in person in Royal Oak, Michigan, and we have DC as well. We're back for week 16. Week 15, we went 3-1-2. Only one loss against the spread was the Cowboys. That was a tough game.
Yeah, ass kicking.
I just got embarrassed.
I didn't mind watching it, but
James cooked just like Lock It In. We were cooking. The immaculate teaser hit with no problems at all. The immaculate teaser would have hit even without teasing it.
Yeah, the spreads hit on their own. You didn't even need to buy 6 points. You could have sold points.
And we all hit our anytime touchdown scores for the first time, I think, in the history of the show. So overall, great week 15. Let's get into a great week 16. No conspiracy this week. We'll get right into the picks. Jacobs, what do you got for your first pick this week?
Yeah, so I love the over 43.5 in the Jags at the Bucks. The Jags and Bucks, both bottom 4 pass defenses in the league, give up a lot of yardage. Baker Mayfield's absolutely cooking, perfect passer rating in Lambeau last week. The Jags, Trevor's still getting his yards. They left a ton of points out there last week against the Ravens with the turnovers. Absolute abortion of clock management at the end of the half there that gave away 3, possibly 7 points. So their offense still moving the ball. 43.5, fairly low number. I think it's going to be a really good game. Bonus bet, I actually like the Bucks. But both these teams tied for the leads in their respective divisions. Jags in a 3-way tie. Bucks tied up at the top with the Saints. So I think they're pulling out all the stops. It's going to be a good, high-scoring, fast-paced, competitive game. And I think we're going to see some points. So over 43.5.
Over 43.5. I don't know if I could pick a side on this game, but over's a lot of points.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's why the spread's won.
Yeah.
I love that over, and I also love the Packers spread -4.5 this week at Carolina. The Packers are still very much in the playoff picture. Carolina got their feel-good win for their coach with a fake name. Was it GIF? That's not his fucking name.
I have no idea.
He's been the special teams coach forever.
Yeah.
It's like a courtesy.
I know. I'm sure it was, but he's a goofy little guy. But back to reality. The Packers are a playoff caliber team. The Carolina Panthers are the undisputed worst team in the league. I do not care what the spread is in this game. I love the Packers no matter what.
Yeah, the Panthers, there's no way they win 2 in a row. And this is in Carolina.
Yes, it's in Carolina.
That means nothing.
That means nothing for this team.
The tickets were 45 cents.
Yeah.
They had 100 fans in the stands. There's no home field advantage.
Yeah,
and they haven't led for a single second of a game.
I saw that.
Season. Both their wins were last-second field goals while they were down in the game.
That's fucking wild.
So it's actually impressive they even have 2 wins.
Yeah,
considering that.
Packers -4.5. I really like that. The Panthers are absolute trash. I like the Bengals -2.5 this week. The Steelers are a mess. This one's in Pittsburgh. It's the only thing that scares me just a little bit. But they're starting Mason Rudolph, so that's a little bit tough. But the Bengals look hot. I mean, Jake Browning is the new Tom Brady, so you can't dispute that. But
fuck all those TikTok guys.
They have a lot to play for. Obviously, the Steelers are still in the playoff hunt technically, but I feel like at a certain point, the Steelers just play so that Mike Tomlin can have an over 500 record and keep that streak going. Other than that, the Steelers have no chance. Give me the Bengals -2.5.
Mike Tomlin seems to actually hate this team.
Oh, definitely.
I agree.
Comments, I've never seen a coach talk like that about a team that's still like kind of alive to make the playoffs. Like, I don't know where they're at now, to be honest, but they look like shit.
Did you guys see that comment that Big Ben made in his podcast? He said that this is the team that's broken the Steelers spirit.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have that Steelers spirit that the team's had in the past. Big Ben said that.
With the guys they've been bringing in that building for the last 10 years, I mean, it's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger himself is one of them. But, I mean, AB, Pickens, Chase Claypool. Anyway, we'll move on to the Lock It In. I was pretty square with my picks last week. I went 1-0-1. So I'm going to stick with the square picks. I can't believe this is the line. Seahawks -2.5 at Tennessee. It's recency bias with the Seahawks' surprising win over Philly. But the Titans, they found a spark with Will Levis. He had the high ankle sprain. There's no way they're playing him with them being eliminated from the playoffs. Derrick Henry already has a foot out the door now, which is kind of sad to see.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks side, though, Kenneth Walker is an absolute alien. Obviously we watched him in college, but since he was out, they went 0-3. First workload, he's back. They beat a very good Eagles team. He's absolutely cooking. I think he's going to dominate in this game, too. So I think the Seahawks are going to take this by at least a touchdown.
Dude, Drew Lock is a dog.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. He has a lot of cringe dance moves, but he
Did you see at the end of the game, he looked into the camera and he said, "Put that fucking shit on, motherfucker."
Yeah, that was his thing back in college, dude. He's been
Yeah.
running that for like 8 years.
Dude, it's just the year of the swaggy backup quarterback. the
It
team
really
rallies
is, dude.
around.
With the amount of quarterback injuries, every QB is coming with some swag. At least some.
I'm even going to include 39-year-old Joe Flacco for the Browns.
He might be get comeback player of the year.
No, I think he is.
I hope
He should. He
No,
should.
no offense.
I'm locking that shit in. I'm locking in the Browns -2.5 this week at Houston. No CJ Stroud. Sad. Hate to see the boy beaten down.
Yeah.
But the Browns they're still cooking. That defense has so many injuries. They're still playing elite. Joe Flacco had that huge comeback victory against a surging Bears team. Like, I hate to say it, the Bears look fucking good, but the Browns look better, even with all those injuries. I mean, this game's in Houston, but the Browns are still fighting for that playoff seeding. I like the Browns a lot this week. So.
It's amazing, dude. I don't know the stat on this, but that has to be a first for a team to have 4 different quarterbacks all start multiple games. Every one of them start at least 2 games for them to still make the playoffs if that ends up happening, which I think is looking very realistic. That'd be insane.
I was going to say that there's no more Browns fashion than starting as many quarterbacks as possible.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it's that classic, like the jersey with 18 names on it. You got to put some duct tape on it to make it work. But their defense, I mean, it helps a lot to have that defense. And then whatever reason, Joe Flacco is just balling.
He's just getting it done.
He's getting it done. I'm going to go ahead and lock in the over in the Lions at the Vikings. It's at 46.5. The Detroit Lions are back. I like the Lions to win this game, but Jared Goff last week looked incredible. He had 5 touchdowns, 3 to Sam Laporta. He should be Rookie of the Year. Real talk. But Nick Mullins is ugly, but he's not a bad backup quarterback. So he can put up some points. Both defenses are a little bit sus. The Vikings blitz a lot. You hear almost every broadcast that they're the most blitzing team in the NFL. I feel like that opens the door for a lot of big plays, explosive plays down the field. And Lions riding a ton of momentum. Vikings off a tough loss. They're still in the hunt. There's going to be lots of competitive juices out there. And the famous points per dome statistic. We got a lot of points per dome between these two teams. 46.5. Taking the over.
Yeah, Jared Goff play action. I mean, that's like his specialty. So both the running backs healthy. You can set that up. The line's healthy for the Lions. Coming off a 42-point performance. So
yeah,
I'm a points per dome sucker. So
yeah, and Goff in a dome too. Fuck play action.
Yeah,
different guy inside.
So we went 3-1-2 last week. 2 ties, 3 wins, and we're looking to go 6-0 this week. I also love the Immaculate Teaser this week, so you're going to want to stick around for this portion of the show. The Immaculate Teaser is brought to you, as always, by All Day Media. We're looking to go 2-0 in our last 2. Who do you got this week, Jacobs?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it short and simple here. Broncos can get to -1 right now at home against the Patriots. The Patriots have been eliminated. They've kind of found this weird spark with Zappy. It seems like they're playing better, but I don't know, man. They're still not good. The Broncos coming off a tough loss. You got Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl caliber pedigrees on both those guys, very experienced. They're going to bounce back. They're still very much in the thick of things for the playoffs. They still got a long shot at the division, so they got a lot to play for. The Patriots want to lose, let's be real. They're not sticking with Bailey Zappi long term.
Robert Kraft gave up on giving Bill Belichick wins for his record.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
There's way more incentive on one side than the other. I think they'll cover the regular spread too, so bonus bet. But yeah, Broncos to win. Basically pick them.
All right, Broncos to win against the Patriots. Is this one in Denver?
Yes.
Okay, even better. What do you got, Clark?
We're taking the Ravens plus 11.5.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
They're playing the 49ers on Christmas. It's what I believe is the Super Bowl preview, but 11.5 points is just too much. It's 2 of the best defenses in the league, both good offenses, both coached very well. I think this is going to be a strategic chess match. Bonus bet, I like the under in this game, but I don't see one of these teams pulling away from the other. I think this is just the cream of the crop on both sides.
Yeah.
Of the NFC.
Yeah, this is 1 and 2, and you could argue either one is 1 or 2.
Right.
I hope the under doesn't hit because I want to see a fucking shootout.
That'd be sick.
It'd be fun, but
especially on Christmas night, dude. Oh,
yeah,
that's gonna be a sick game.
It is.
Game of the year.
Game of the year. Yeah,
game of the year.
It has all the makings of game of the year. The only thing that scares me is I feel like we did the same thing with the Eagles when they played the Niners.
Oh yeah,
and they got absolutely cooked. But The Ravens.
That was our bye week. We took a week off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Ravens are better than the Eagles, so I don't see that happening.
100%.
Buying the Ravens plus 11.5 should be illegal.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that. But that's why it's immaculate. It's an immaculate teaser. To bring home the immaculate teaser, we're going with the Dolphins plus 5.5. This one's in Miami. We know the Cowboys are not good away from Jerry World. They just got smoked against the Bills in Buffalo. And Tyreek Hill should be back. Dolphins at home. I think they'll win outright. The spread is Dolphins minus 1.5. You buy 6 points. Dolphins plus 4.5. It's immaculate. Don't think too much about it. The Cowboys aren't winning in Miami, and even if they do, you get an extra 4.5 points. I'd say that's pretty immaculate. Good shit, boys. Speaking of immaculate, we are in now fantasy playoff season, so hopefully your teams are staying immaculate out there. Shout out Logan Guess for the fantasy tidbit of the week. Nobody actually cares about your fantasy team. But let's move in and wrap up the show getting propalicious. We're going with the anytime touchdown score. For the first time, we hit all three, which is actually pretty sick.
Yeah, it is. Should have fucking parlayed them.
would have been pretty value.
Yeah.
I've been very, very cold. Josh Allen to score a touchdown was kind of a lock, honestly. Who'd you have?
I had Terry McLaurin.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He almost scored twice. Who'd you have?
Hamir.
Hamir Gibbs.
Yeah. We've been taking him a lot, and he keeps hitting. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm now 9-5 on the season on the Anytime TDs. So we're gonna keep it going. Travis Kelce. It's the same logic as last week.
He's due.
He has not scored in I think 4 games now. He's only got 5 on the season, which is insane.
Yeah.
They're playing the Raiders. Last year when they played the Raiders at home, he scored 4 times. I checked last week.
That's right.
He was even money to score a touchdown last week. In Raiders-Chiefs games, they feel like they're close a lot. Like the last
Always close.
3 of the last 6 have been decided by 1 possession. The Raiders have kind of found this spark with the new coach, new quarterback. So I think the Chiefs are going to have to, go back to old trusty and who's reliable. And there's only really one actually reliable guy on that team. And as far as receivers go, Kelce.
Yeah.
Rice has come up nice, but we know who the ball's not going to. So I'm not even going to say it. But yeah, Kelce is very due. So you'll probably get around even money, maybe minus 110.
Can you take Kadarius Toney to fumble?
Can you take him to?
Not.
Probably not.
Yeah, he has pictures of Andy Reid like doing crack or something. He should not be.
He does have some blackmail against Andy Reid to be in the starting lineup, but I don't know. He won't be back next year. Thinking about Travis Kelce, is this the game that we thought Tony Pollard would score 3 touchdowns, but it's actually Travis Kelce scoring 3 touchdowns this week?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. Bonus bet. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
All right, Clark. Well, let's settle back down a little bit. We don't need 4. We don't need 3. We just need 1 touchdown. Who you got?
It's got to be Bijan Robinson this week. If the Falcons lose this game and they don't give enough carries or touches to Bijan Robinson, and Arthur Smith isn't I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything, but something needs to be done. All right. I don't understand how you can give Tyler Algier 15 touches and then Bijan, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts combined for 13. You scored 7 points in a fucking game. I just give the ball to your best player.
Also, it was pouring rain.
They should be running all the time then.
Yeah. With Algier.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's just so stupid. The Colts, here we go. The Colts have the 6th worst run defense. If Bijan doesn't score a touchdown against this defense, I don't know what I don't know.
If something happens to Arthur Smith, it wasn't.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I promise.
That's an all-day guarantee. It was not Clark, but we're just saying if it does, we're just saying.
It wasn't me.
All right.
Man, so who's your touch?
Yeah. So Nick Sirianni is kind of a villain. I feel like he does not do well with the media.
Mm-mm.
He's like an angry little man. He's an angry little Italian.
Backwards hat kind of guy.
Yeah. Not a franchise quarterback, but there's a staple of a franchise, and you don't think about him too often. You think about him maybe twice a year. His name is a city, but it's not Philadelphia. His name is Boston Scott. And in 8 career games against the Giants, he's scored 10 touchdowns. He has a touchdown in every single game that he's ever played against the Giants. I don't know how long he's been on the Eagles, but it seems like as far as I can remember, he scored a touchdown.
4 years.
4
His
years.
whole career.
4 years, 8 games.
Yeah.
He scored a touchdown in every single game. And I think they need to keep Swift fresh as well for the postseason with his injury history. Jalen Hurts, obviously a bit banged up with the flu game, which that was Michael Jordan on the Wizards, not Michael Jordan on the Bulls flu game. But Boston Scott to score a touchdown. History tells you that is a literal lock. So I'll take Boston Scott.
Yeah. And there's blowout potential in that game, too, which I think helps for the...
Put in Boston Scott to score a random garbage time touchdown.
Yeah, it's like when Craig Reynolds scored against the Panthers. Like that's when that kind of stuff happened. So I love that.
He's the giant killer.
Just because that history.
Honestly.
It's out of respect for the man. You got to take.
Out of respect for Boston Scott, we're going to take him to score a touchdown. And out of disrespect for Arthur Smith, we're going to take Bijan Robinson to score a touchdown. And out of respect for Taylor Swift, we're going to take Travis Kelce to score a touchdown. So that'll wrap it up for week 16 of Lock It In. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for sharing at alldaymedia_ on Instagram and TikTok. We'll catch you next week for week 17. Lock it in.
I already seen that movie, but I will go again with you. I got a few I've been tending to, but tonight I forgot all about them.